Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Mystic Collective Wisdom. I'm your host, Royal Mystic, and we've just finished up our chakra understanding, learning about the different chakra energies, how that subtle body energy works in our body, and ages of activation, various ways of enhancing it and bringing that energy into its fullest vibrational frequency. And today we're just going to do a recap of how to also access additional, how to use your chakras in your palms and your feet, and how to extend past what your physical body contains. Remember, the crown chakra is the one that floats between 6 and 12 inches above your head. And one of the ways when I first became really active in my energy and started doing the tarot, this was before even a blink of Royal Mystic didn't even exist at this time. I was just working on tarot and reacclimating myself with it. I had started, I've gotten my first deck when I was 10 and didn't have any guidance, and it terrified me because the cards talk to me, and that's what I get is a vocal conversation in my head. And I had run from that because it made me fearful. I didn't know where the voice was coming from. So my process was to help myself accept and receive the information. So here's a technique that may be useful for some of you who are activating your energies. Is I would hold my hands as though you're in a victory, right? Hands up above your head, straight arms, in a V. And as you're holding your hands up, you breathe and you call in the light. And then I would see a big orb of light, and I would pull it down into my crown, just like I were putting my hands on a beach ball, and then pulling it down and being in that gracious energy of thanking the universe and receiving the knowledge from divine. And that was a little meditation that would happen daily, and just allowing myself to bring my sacred mind into the logic mind, and allow myself to shift gears in that way. And I know that a lot of you who are not quite fully able to do this from a standpoint of making a living at it, and some people don't even want to do that, and that's fine. But you end up having to do this little dance. And it's like having 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? Half on the reality and half in the energy of space and time continuum, right? Being in that place of the flow, right? So having to be in the human realm and then shift to gears and go into spirit realm, that's a hard thing to do continuously. And so the pulling in that white light orb into the top of your head is very helpful for that. And it is quite a challenge. I'll say that. That's a good word. A challenge. And to shift gears continuously, because you find yourself in a grocery store and you're getting downloads from every direction, right? So there's times when you don't want to be in that energy. Airports, grocery store lines, any place there's a crowd, it's not a good thing when you're wearing your open receiver hat, right? So just I'm giving you that little piece of information in case you haven't run into that, and if you have, then I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you sooner. So that's when you shield and seal, boom, right? So one of my my sealing techniques, for those of you who would like to know that, is I imagine that I am covered by the same substance as the Chicago bean, if y'all have ever seen it. And if you haven't, it's like gunmetal, silver, shiny like a mirror. And it was more silver, but it reflected too much light, so they made it made it darker. And it looks like hematite, polished hematite. It's really shiny, and it looks very much like a dark mirror. And that's what helps me to kind of move through the energy when I have to deal with other people's barrage. If there's a whole bunch of people in there, you never know what state they're in. And generally, when you're waiting in a line in a crowd, it's never a happy thing. So most people are trying to stay calm, but nobody likes it, right? So allowing yourself to use these tools just in everyday life will assist you. And remember, your hands are also chakras. Your extension of your heart chakra goes right into the palms of your hands. And that's where people use Reiki and healing energy through their hands, because it is your heart's energy cast down into your hands and amplified. And if you have trouble using your hands, you don't really feel that vibration. I feel it because when I touch things or hold different stones and I'm meditating, my hands will pulse. And I noticed if I hold my hands up in the air and I'm really concentrating, I can feel the pulse in my hands as I'm activating the energy. Or when I touch other people, I help to ground them because I have that ability to do that. So if you can't feel your hand energy, clap your hands together 3 times and then hold them right in front of your heart with the thought of a small orb showing up, like feeling the orb, like push and pull your hands together until you can feel the energy between them. If it doesn't work the first time you clap your hands 3 times, clap them again. And let your hands, do it with the intention that you're sparking. Like think about it like you're lighting, like striking 2 stones together. You're creating that spark of energy. So, and you don't have to do it hard. It's nothing that has to be any kind of way. There's no pomp and circumstance to it. If you just clap your hands 3 times and then hold them as though there's a ball in them and then move them in and out slightly, you'll feel the energy pull. And the more you get practice at it, you'll feel it. So those are the techniques that I use. And the feet I use all the time because I like to be barefoot. I'm one of those people. As a kid, I ran around barefoot, and I know it's not the most fabulous way because you can sure step on something, but it is my thing, and I like to be barefoot because it helps the connection. And remember, that is also your root chakra that goes down toward the soles of your feet, and you ground yourself in that energy. So anytime you have a strong intention of creating or manifesting, you're going to want to plant your feet on the ground, get your hands ready to receive, hold them up over your head in that V shape, pull that light down, or that orb, pulling your crown chakra down into the pineal gland, right? So it's like you're stuffing that orb into the top of your head, into the little seat, right? So allowing that to happen and being receptive will activate the energy for you. It's kind of like a Kickstarter. And as you do it more and more, you'll be able to do it without having to go through all the ceremony. But it's not a big deal. If you want to do that, nobody can see you. You're doing it in a meditation, usually by yourself. So those are some of the preps that I used when I was first learning how to really use my energy. So let's remember that your chakras are important it's almost like flames. You have to keep them lit in order to project the energy or keep the light lit. And you want to keep them clear. So emotional energy and trauma, pain, illness, all of those things can affect your chakras. And sometimes you have to work on different ones a little more than others. And one of the things that helps in opening chakras is the primordial sounds. And those are the sounds that are the sacred sounds that help to open your energy. And we'll have a segment on that all by itself because I want to get in detail enough where I can make it very, understandable. I don't want to just kind of throw it in there. But I use those, I use the solfeggio frequencies when I do my meditations, because when you allow yourself to resonate with these energies, they do have meaning behind them. And it's a waste of time to me, or it's a waste of an opportunity, not a waste of time, but a waste of opportunity if I don't use those sounds in the meditation, because that just amplifies the effect that I'm having. Because when I'm making the sound from within myself, I am resonating with divine in that frequency. So that's a really important thing to remember. And also, we'll talk about mudras. Mudras are hand gestures that you can hold your fingers in different positions and create a different energy. And remember, because your hands have the ability to extend your palm chakra. So focusing is part of that ritual. And then we have mantras that are Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a language that was used by monks in meditation that was generally not spoken out loud. It was the mantras were used within their own mind. They would do them internally, and that was said to be more of an amplification than if you do them out loud. So there are different mantras for different things, and we'll cover mantras later as well. But you can use them in your own language. One of the things I like about using a foreign language, especially one that I don't use regularly, is that the sounds of the words have no other meaning to me. They don't carry any other weight than the sound that I'm creating. And there's something sacred about that. When you're saying things that are not, don't have emotion tied to them, especially old memories and other people's ideas of what they are. So when you're using Sanskrit, you can be free to make the sounds and create through a pure creation. I feel like it's a very clean way of manifesting when you're using sounds that have nothing tied to them other than manifesting. So I also want to just take a quick moment to remind you, be patient with yourself. Meditation is a personal experience. Everybody has their own way and their own preferences. And if you can't see, from the top of the mountain, or feel like you're out of body, or don't freak out about it. Just take the pressure off. Expect nothing, and then whatever happens, you'll be satisfied, because it's any little thing from nothing, a little spark, a little orb, a little quick glance, because that's what they start off with, is like little flashes, and then it's gone. Because the second you become aware that you're having this experience, it shuts it off, because you're collapsing the wave pattern. Remember the quantum physics thing. It's doing what it's supposed to do until you start directing it with your energy. That's the whole thing is. And so one of the techniques for that is to try to be the witness to it and allow yourself to not react when it shows up. My first time I meditated, my father's face zoomed in and he went, "Hello, sugar." And I almost fell over. Well, I think I did fly backwards, because I jerked back, because his face came in really close and fast to me, and he scared me. But I didn't want to leave the meditation. That was my reaction, because I'd never had that experience. And I've never seen him in a meditation again. So I think that kind of killed it for me. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, just try to allow for whatever may show up, and don't make a big reaction. Just participate in the witnessing of it. And try to remember it when you're done. Keep a journal. I always, always, always keep a journal, especially in these kinds of things, because you want to remember your journey. You can write down the day, like here I am sitting and meditating, and here's my journal, and I'm going to write down my experience. So on this day, it took me less time, or that way you can see your progress. Put on there, just, sat down, had a horrible day, wanted to meditate and get out of my head, couldn't get out of my head. Sometimes the day it'll be that way. Sometimes you can't connect. You just have to be patient. It'll start to be, that's why you have to show up every day. That's why you have to the energy of a practice is truly it. We're practicing our best possible life, right? So allowing yourself to have patience and not get upset or quit. Because if nothing else is happening, you're relaxing. And that's the real important part. So I don't really have too much to talk about other than that today. I just wanted to come on and recap. I'm going to take a week off, and I will see you guys at the beginning of April. So there won't be a new episode at the end of for the last weekend of March. And so I'll see you again in a week, or in 2 weeks. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. I want to end with a beautiful message and prayer, sending out love and healing and protection to all the people in the world. May peace reign. May freedom be free, and allow all people to be untethered to the greater negativity of the world, allowing ourselves to be in a place of forgiveness and love and light as we send divine healing and joy and understanding to all. Many blessings to you, my friends. Namaste.